So tonight is a wonderful, wonderful training. We keep our our schedules very tight. Let's just say that, right? So we do Tuesday night business opportunity, and Thursday night we usually do trainings, and we have sometimes Dr. Becky, sometimes a lot of other folks that we highlight. And tonight, I'm just going to call some out, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the product line because I want to touch a little bit on on the actual. I get a lot of questions, let's put it that way. So, we usually have Dr. Becky online, and then what she does is we talk about the gut brain axis, the gut this, the liver axis, what the gut with the heart, everything with the microbiome and things like that. But I still get a lot of phone calls talking about how do we use these products? And I just got off the phone with two different people. What should I do first? Things like that. So I think we can do that. But first, the transformational, yes, authority. She's on the line. And when she's all dolled up with her camera on, darn well, she's going to take the floor. She's going to run with it. She's going to crush it. And that, and all, if I tell you all the degrees that she has, it's like introducing Tiger Woods when he's getting ready to golf. We'd be here for 3 days before that's all over with. So the information, wait, yeah, the information, wait, oh God, the transformation authority, Mint, Mintorella. At least I get that part right.
Just so everyone knows, Michael's not my client, but that is fun, and we do have a good time here. And I have to tell you, um, it's more than what meets the eye. There's an actual movement going on here, and that's what I'm here about. There's so much good energy and intelligent people and accurate information and high ethics. When you get that much good stuff happening, it really becomes a movement. In addition to, of course, the Go Green movement. I mean, it's got to all come together, right? So, Go Green means what? It's a form of self love. We're not poisoning ourselves anymore, right? February, fall in love with yourself month. Didn't we talk about this already? Wearing my red. If we don't care about ourselves, we are unable to receive love from another more than the degree that we love ourselves. As much as others may try, it just doesn't work. And of the like, if we do not love ourselves enough to have overflow, then we're depleting our energy, and that doesn't work either. So, what I noticed is there's a lot going on in the world right now. A lot of my clients are all saying the same type of thing, some kind of weird energy. I've noticed this and I've noticed that, and somebody else was grumpy and somebody else was irritable. Yes, do not be distracted. Please stay the course. Know yourself, know who you're looking for. You're not chasing after anybody. Let those people be. Fortunately, you'll be strong enough that you can observe it and not be taken into it emotionally. Emotions are tiring, right? I mean, it's the most exhausting thing I know is to have a bunch of emotions. Wow. So if there's unnecessary grief and stress, then that's not very helpful. So it's very, very important. Pay attention to what's going on. It's easier when the body's healthy and fueled up. It's easier to notice. I think there's some kind of planetary alignment. I thought I heard somebody say something about that. Well, what is that about? Does that anything to do with me? Yep. Everything is connected. The heart is actually a magnet. It's not a pump. It magnetizes. So when all these planets are lined up, you've got one after another sending energy all the way to us. So you want to make sure that your body temple is functioning properly so you're not out of whack. What's a good way to do that, you ask? I'm so happy you said that. I absolutely love the offer that's going on right now for the 50% off voucher. And every month in my email, I just feel like it's such a beautiful gift. I'm so thrilled. It's like having a birthday every month. Every month, I'm looking forward to a gift. I do. I look forward to it. It was so easy. I just made 100 points on my easy order. That's different from the one time wholesale order. And I just wait for the voucher to come. After 3 months, I got my first voucher. And I just keep my easy order at around 100 points, sometimes a little bit more. I like extra things. And I get another one every month because every month I have 3 months in a row: January, February, March, April, May, June, all year long. This is an incredible savings. And since this is the fuel that we need, there is nothing else that I know of on the planet. I've done so much research about sourcing. I don't know of anything else that is more densely nutritious and affordable and effective. It's absolutely fantastic. And I feel like I'm in the Jetsons age now, where I just don't need that garbage food anymore. Just give me my Essante. And I like the greens. Listen, in the capsules, some people don't like the way the greens taste. I don't care. Put it in a capsule. All done. It's so much nutrients. I'm surprised. I just don't get hungry. I do like to eat, and I like to eat a lot, but that's more for the pleasure of it. I'm not actually hungry because I feel nourishment while I'm having my waking hours, and I do intermittent fasting. It's always good to put the body into autophagy. Ask me about that if you want. It's absolutely fabulous. Or you can look at the 2016 Nobel Prize in autophagy and learn how that works. But it all goes hand in hand. Take care of the body with the nutrients. You be strong. You can manage what's going on. So as all this changes in the environment, like if you're not interested in anything else, there's certainly a lot of things going on in society. Lots of changes. And there's a lot more changes coming. So we need to fortify ourselves now with good nutrition. It helps the brain work better, helps the heart function better. The heart is going to beat out a higher vibration. So you'll be able to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and no harm shall fall upon you because you're not a magnet for it. You're a magnet for goodness and organic and what's real. And that's fun. And I like to have fun. So I was out at the farmer's market yesterday, and everybody's music. I just dance to everybody's music the whole time. I just dance the whole time. I put my feet in this beautiful grass. It's so soft, kind of like the real soft putting green. And there it is with the sunset right before they douse the skies with all that stuff they dump there. And it was a wonderful, exuberant experience. And because I get younger every day, I'm making new cells every day. Every day we make new cells. So what am I making my cells with today? I'm making it with the best on the planet. So every day I get a little healthier and a little bit more vivacious, and I have just a little bit more endurance for everything that comes along. Stay the course. Know what's important to you. Fall in love with yourself. That's what I have to say.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Mint. It's so awesome to, to have you on our team, and just being here and showing up and just looking so gorgeous and just a wealth of information. And guys, you know who else is a wealth of information? I see him on there tonight. And, I hope that G stands for Green Bay, because if it doesn't, he's going to get muted. I'm telling him right now. Robert, talk a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit about the
It is.
company
It
and
is
the
Green
product.
Bay. It is Green Bay. My friend is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Actually, his dad had season tickets, and so he got this as a gift, and it was too big for him. So yeah, I got it as a freebie. But
Tell us a little bit
tonight I'm
about the
yeah,
product line
tonight
and
I'm
why you like
finishing
it.
moving out of my other home and the final move, and so that part of my life is over, going through a transition. So I'm going there in a truck to get the rest of it. But I wanted to jump on tonight and just say howdy and let everybody know that I'm still losing weight on the products. I'm not taking them as diligently as I need to be, even after about 6 months being on them. So if you're not doing that either, don't beat yourself up. But I'm better than I was last month. I'm better than I was 3 months ago. I'm better than I was when I started. I'm not where I want to be yet on taking the products in a on a consistent basis that my body needs. But I can tell you what, my body is so much different today than it was 6 months ago. I sleep better. I wake up easier. I have more energy during the day. I have better, all of my body functions work so much better now. It's just amazing. And I'm not hungry for all the junk I used to be hungry for, the sugars, the cookies, the candy bars and all that stuff. I used to get the brownies, and it has changed my life, Michael. What you have done has changed my life, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you. And guys, I interject in between people I call out, and I got a call today from somebody who said, and this is a person that's older than me, a couple of years older than me, and has been involved in the company for a while, but really didn't do much, and said, "Oh my gosh, I had this situation happen, and then I got checked out, and then they said this and all these things, and then I went to somebody else, and they said they weren't right, and it's nothing, and it just went back and forth tonight, and I got to tell you, and now the person is like, I'll never get off the products ever, ever, and I got to really get diligent on it. What's the most important thing you guys have?" And I said to the person, I said, look, you know, when I look into this company as an outsider, if I'm looking in and I'm not and first time ever looking into this company, I would look at every single one of these products and go, well, this company doesn't have something that just sits on the shelf. It's not stuff. We talk about this all the time. These are things we do every single solitary day, right? Now, we try, we have to make it budget friendly. So definitely, I mean, for everybody here, the first thing you should do with everybody is start with a cleanse because it has to be done in order to get the maximum results that you're going to get from the product line. And then we got to get the gut right. That's what I was telling this person. I said, look, you don't, you, when you look at food, when we're a child and we look at the food, understand that we know already we're going to eat that. We know that. And our bodies work in a very miraculous way. And it says, right now, I'm going to eat this. I'm looking at it, whether you put it in your mouth or not. What starts happening inside the body immediately? Enzymes. Look at something that you really like to eat. What happens? You start salivating, right? You're getting more spit. It ain't because you got excess water inside of you. It's because you're starting to release things inside the mouth because your brain's already telling your entire body, guess what? Something's coming on in. Get ready. So that's what happens. And then immediately it knows where it's going. You're not just chewing it up and spitting it out to the neighbor or the next guy. It knows it's going down. All right. So immediately your body, that second, before you even touched it, it's starting to make hydrochloric acid inside the gut. It's doing it. It's creating an environment. Hydrochloric acid does nothing, absolutely nothing for digesting. It doesn't digest a thing. What digests is enzymes. So what happens is here's this plate, here's this food, and we're kids, right? And our body's just dumping enzymes and getting everything ready. And then we eat, and then everything works well when we're kids, right? Well, what's the difference between now, I said to this person, and you're 62 years old? You're 62. But guess what? Your body's not doing what it did. So you know what you have to do before you even put that food in your mouth? You have to start dumping the enzymes. You got to dump them. You got to dump them enzymes and probiotics just like your body was doing. If you want to feel like you were when you were a teenager and in your 20s, you have to do things manually to allow the body to assimilate everything that's happening, get to where it needs to go through the process, eliminate in a proper amount of time, and then we get back to feeling like we did way back then. And you actually have an internal environment like you did way back then. That's extremely, extremely important. Okay. So when you're approached, that's the most important thing you have to start with. We have to clean because we got to clean house. We have to clean house. And then we have to repaint. Okay? We have to repaint, put new furniture inside, and you got to do it manually. So it's always going to be cleanse, enzymes, probiotics. Now, I ask everybody, do you take a multivitamin? Most people say I do. I said, well, when you're on the B tabs, get rid of it. Out. You don't take it anymore. The B tabs are stronger than any multivitamin that exists because it is a multivitamin. Okay. Gets processed through the bee itself. So it's extremely, extremely wild crafted, clean, and it has everything. It sustains life. It's the only product that's made by nature that you can actually live on with that and water. So with that being said, that's your that I tried to tell these folks that I can't put these in a if I'm putting them in an order, I'm telling you exactly what the order is now, right? A cleanse, enzymes and probiotics, and get that multivitamin inside of you. And the most important thing you can do after that is take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every single day, because that's how much you need for your calcium to do what it's supposed to do, alkalize you. Calcium is an alkalizing mineral. It's the largest one inside the body, the most of. And when it does work the way it's supposed to, it's not going to work at all if you don't have vitamin D to actually transport it to where it needs to be in order to do the work that it needs to do. So that's a must, right? So now we went from we got a certain order now, and then we get into the alkalizing, right? We all know what to do to alkalize. And, you know, and with the reds, that's healing tissue. If you want to heal tissue and get rid of, you don't produce glutathione after 50 years old. You can't take a pill. You can't take a shot. Can't do any of that stuff because you need this stuff all day long. And so you're not going to take something that's just going to sit around and wait to do what it's supposed to do. So then you outsource your antioxidants. Those are your super reds, right? Those are all your phytonutrients, your xanthones, your peptides, everything. I mean, that is life, right? Then we alkalize. And alkalizing is really, really important. We understand that. So and if you've been here long enough, you understand the importance of having an alkaline environment where nothing bad can exist in an alkaline environment. And this is stuff you need to do every day and get it as consistent as you possibly can. Okay. Once in a while, I too will get busy and I eat, and I did it tonight. I'll tell you, it happened. I'm guilty by association. I did it. And I forgot to take my enzymes and probiotics. So I had to quick dump them in real quick. Is that the proper way of doing it? No, but at least they're there now. And I know that I got some backup. But 99% of the time, 98% of the time, I do it properly. And that's what's important. That when we do these things, we do them properly and we get very consistent. Because if something was going to happen from a a space of, well, it's not a good place. Hey, now I got that. Now I got to get rid of that. As even if it's a cold or the flu, it's not a good place to be. Well, don't get in that place, right? You know, and you have to alkalize, those things can't exist in an environment that like that. So, you know, if there's any order, I think that's really important to understand and and take the proper dosages as well. I mean, when you're having muscle tissue protein, which is if you're going to eat meat, I would never suggest it, but if that's what you got to do, well, then you better take 5 enzymes because it will liquefy that within 12 to 15 minutes. All right. And that is what you want the stuff to do. Get into a state of being liquid and then extract all the nutrition you possibly can, which will be all of it if you get it into that state fast, and then allow it to cellulize and metabolize and eliminate. And if you're doing all these things properly, then you don't have to worry about really anything other than, if you're going to wear a jacket with a G on it, it better be the Green Bay Packers, as I said to Robert, right? But you know what? I want to bring somebody on to talk to you a little bit that's very knowledgeable in health and wellness and in business. And he's been on top of companies and he knows what it takes. And he really, I guess I love hearing him talk all the time. He's awesome. So, Dominic, I know you're out there. Oh,
Yeah,
you
look at
didn't,
this
you
one,
didn't.
Mike.
You had to do it.
I told you, man, I'm
Oh,
getting busy with them. So
man. Well,
I
let me
got to
tell you
keep.
something before this all takes place, because see, Dominic, he's going to outshirt me now. And then last night, we were talking to a new client, a new team partner, as we will call them. And, he's like, well, what do you drink this stuff out of? Next thing you know, I get a text and Dominic's got his iron flasks. Now I'm like, oh, no, I got to start buying a bunch of those, because I try and when I outfit. And now, oh, Dominic got me all crazy last night. So,
So, no, thanks, Mike, for having me on. I always love hearing Mint talk. It's always refreshing to hear somebody that kind of goes through life kind of how I do, just enjoying life as it happens, take a second to ground here, take a second to enjoy the air, take a second to look at the trees, I mean, I'm all about that lifestyle. I was raised in a time where technology wasn't what it is today. It was, you want something to do, go outside. So that's what I did as a kid. I was a kid that built forts in the woods and ran around and rode bikes everywhere and played a bunch of sports. So I was an active kid, and I've continued that to my young age at 46 now. I'll be 47 in April. And just want to talk a little bit tonight about just consistency in building, guys. I know if you've been on the calls, you've heard me talk about it, but I try to make it a conscious effort to have a daily list. And part of my daily list is not only what I do daily as far as eating. While Mint was talking, I was eating my salmon and my quinoa and stuff and doing what I was doing and drinking my water and my pH drops. But just consistency. One of the things I do is on my daily list, I make a daily list. And most people say, well, every once in a while I make a list. Well, a to-do list is only good if you do it, right? So one of the things I focus on a to-do list is making sure I accomplish everything on the list. So when you make a list, it's funny. People will make a to-do list and they'll forget to put something on it, and they'll say, oh yeah, I also have to do this, and they won't put it on the list, and at the end of the day, that's the one thing they didn't do. Why? Because it wasn't on the list. So be conscious with your decision to make your list every day, and part of your list should just look at your friends list, look at your warm market, the people that know you, the people that have connected with you online, because everything is social these days. So look at the people that have connected with you online and make a list. And literally part of your daily list is contact 5 new people and ask them what they're up to. Don't lead with the business. Don't lead with the opportunity. Don't lead with, oh, you can make money. Don't lead with, oh, these are great products. Just, hey, just thinking about you today, cross my mind, put you on my list to contact you. What's been going on? How's life been treating you? And let people kind of talk, just have that conversation, pass the ball back and forth. Why? Because again, it shows them that, hey, they reached out to me. I definitely wasn't expecting a call from Dom today, but he reached out to me, asked me if I had 5 minutes to chat, and I just want to catch up on life. And then when they ask what I've been, oh man, I've been enjoying life. I've been taking out the boat. I was on the Sea-Doo. I was doing some home renovation stuff, and you just get a little chance to catch up. And that conversation will lead to, hey, what are you up to this weekend? We could circle back. I gotta run in a meeting real quick, or hey, I got a call. I'm about to hop on. Don't want to cut this short, but I definitely want to catch up, see how the kids are doing, see what's been going on, and follow up with them, right? Because if you just jump into somebody and say, hey, I got this awesome opportunity, you know what they're gonna say? Click, not for me. Click, not for me. Click, not for me. Right? You have to find out. I guess the easiest way to say it is find out people's why. When people reach out to you and say, what do you do? What are you doing to make this money? What are you doing? Why does Mint look 25? Right? What are you doing with your daily life? Find out why they're asking. Just curious. What's making you inquire? Is there something going on in your life? Ask questions, right? I always say, if not that I go there, but I know what they're popular for. But Outback Steakhouses, I don't eat a lot of red meat, if any at all. But Outback Steakhouse, their number one selling appetizer is the blooming onion, right? So you have to treat conversations like an onion. The thing about onions is there is a lot of layers, right? So you have to peel back the layers to get to the good part in the center. So that's how you have to treat these conversations with people, is you have to peel back layers. You have to connect. You have to connect first. And when you connect first, you open up the opportunity for more connection. And more connection will lead to, well, what have you been up to? And now they're going to inquire with what you've been up to. And that's when you can start to introduce them to little tidbits and little like sneak peeks on what you've been doing, and how you've been taking care of yourself, and why you look at the radiant age that you do, and why you're still active while they sit on the couch with their bag of chips and a soda, right? And knowing people's why, because sometimes people reach out to you and say, hey, I saw that you have an opportunity, just curious, what is it? You don't just jump right in and say, here's my link, sign up. You have to ask them, why are you curious? What's going on in your life that's wanting you to reach out and ask me what I'm up to? I'm just curious, because in order for me to help you, I have to know how I can help you. That's the reality of helping people, is until you know how you can truly help them, you'll never be able to help them. So you have to find out their why. You have to find out what's making them tick, right? So that's kind of how I focus all my conversations. I've been in home renovation sales. I was in home renovation sales and training. I was a trainer for over 3 years. I was in the sales side of things for about 18 months. And in that 18 months, I sold to more customers than people who had been there for 3+ years. And the reason why, I wasn't doing anything special except being myself, being genuine, being transparent, being honest upfront, having a conversation with a random stranger. Like, I've never had a conversation with Linda, but if me and Linda were to talk, I'm going to let her do the talking for the first 15 minutes, because I need to find out about Linda in order for me and Linda to connect. And then I'll let her ask me questions, but I want to know about Linda first, right? So you have to know what makes people tick. You have to truly connect with people. You have to go into conversations with a purpose behind them. And the purpose is find out what their why is, find out what's making them tick, find out what they're looking for. If they are looking for an opportunity, find out what they want out of the opportunity. Is it better health? Is it wealth? Is it a combination of both? Find out what their goals are. Find out what their vision board is, because everybody's got a vision board, whether it's up here or whether it's actually on a board. Everybody has trips planned that may never come to fruition. Why? Because a plan without action is only a plan. So you have to put your plan into action. That's why I say make a daily list of what are you going to do today, and do it with intention. Do it with purpose. Make sure you accomplish your list, because I promise you this, if you accomplish your list at the end of the day, you're going to lay your head down and you're going to sleep a lot better, because the list was done. So make the conscious effort to be intentional with what you're doing. I was talking to somebody today, matter of fact, another Dominic, spells his name the weird way. I spell my name the right way. So I joke with people anyways. But I was talking to him today, and I said, most people don't realize that from the second, every single person on this call today, the second you opened your eyes this morning, Every single decision you've made today happened within 10 seconds. You make 10-second conscious decisions. It's not something you think about for hours before you go do it. Every decision is made within 10 seconds. And the reality of it is, the results of the end of the day were all made from the conscious choices that you made throughout the day. So if you're not happy with your results, you need to make better conscious decisions. And everything comes down to a choice. As they say, the fork in the road. Should I or shouldn't I? No matter which way you choose, remember, you're responsible for the choice that you make. So you have to be willing to accept the results of that choice. So you have to be intentional. If your goal is to build the business, be intentional with that. Reach out to people you haven't talked to in 6 months. Reach out to people you haven't talked to in 6 years. Reach out to people you haven't talked to in 10 years. When was the last time you guys connected with somebody you went to high school with? When was the last time you connected with somebody you went to college with? When was the last time you connected with somebody who was at their wedding 15 years ago? Right? Reach out to people, catch up on life, because catching up on life will open the opportunity for more. And when you open the opportunity for more, that's what they'll ask you is, do you have anything more? And that's when you offer. That's when you offer the help. That's when you offer the assistance, is when they ask you. Don't ever force it on somebody, because if you have to force it on somebody, even if they join, they're not going to do anything. You have to let them come to you. And I promise you, 7.5+ billion people in the world, everybody on this call, you have people out there that are your people. They're your people. God already put them aside for you. They're your people. But you have to make the effort to connect. It all starts with connection. The best friend that you could think of right now, if you close your eyes and I said, think of your best friend you've ever had in your life, and you think about that person, the first time you met him, you might have not hit it off right away. But the more you talk to him, that's how you became best friends. It became a connection, right? That's how they became your best friend, is through connection, learning about them learning about you, having a common ground. I learned more about Jen. Me and Jen, she's on the call. Me and Jen talk pretty much every day. I learned that we were both Greeks. I learned that we both have backgrounds in this. She's asking me about my background. I'm asking her about her background. We learn more about each other by asking and inquiring, guys. Don't be afraid to ask questions just to find out about people, because that's where you're going to make that connection, because they'll know that you actually care. This isn't me just pushing a business on you. I actually care about you. I care about your life. I care about what's going on. I want to help you in any way that I can. There's many avenues to helping somebody financially, physically, spiritually, mentally, right? Just be that person. How many of your friends have passed away and it's like, oh man, I wish I would have reached out to them. Don't wish that you could reach out to somebody. You have a phone, you have internet, you have access. Reach out to them. Make that effort. When you make an effort, they'll reciprocate that effort, because energy and effort are always reciprocated. They're always mirrored. The effort you give is the result you'll receive. So that's my little 2 cents for tonight, guys. I appreciate you having me, Michael. I got another shirt for you. Don't worry. I got plenty of them.
Oh man. Well, let me tell you something. I'm Greek. I did you know that? I mean, Adonis. They call me Adonis, right?
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't
I'm
surprise
kidding. I'm kidding. But I
Was it
gotta
because of
tell
the
you,
earring and the lightning bolt?
what's it?
Was it because of the earring and the lightning bolt?
Right? Oh boy. Well, I got to tell you guys something that Dominic said. You know, when we were younger, we moved from Milwaukee. My brother and I went to Christian school. So we were in a kind of pretty strict upbringing, right? And then we were in a school that was pretty structured. And then we moved out of Milwaukee to Pewaukee, and it was like the middle of my sophomore year. Well, guess what? I wasn't around public schools, so I didn't know about fighting and getting beat up and all this kind of stuff. And that's kid stuff, right? But it's so funny that Dominic talked about this today, because I got to tell you something. There's guys in our company. There are people in our company that beat me up in high school, you know, and it was like when Danny and I got really popular in the music industry and the bands. Well, then everybody wanted to be your friend, but then we were, retaliating, because we're young kids, and we're like, nope, we're not being their friends. They weren't our friends back then. But then, everything goes away, and you see them on social media, and it was funny because we would never bring it up, but it just backs up what Dominic says when he says that, look, eh, who who haven't you talked to, right? I reach out to everybody I went to high school with, on social media and stuff like that. And I live life. And, Jennifer put a really good comment in uh in the comment sections here. Be human, right? And that's it. I live life. Um, I thank God I get today, and I get to, I have, you know, his breath in my lungs and a heartbeat, and I just want to help people out. And you know what? Somebody said to me today, right before this Zoom, and I spoke with the person for 45 minutes, a lady, and the lady says, said to me, she goes, I I don't even know what to say because I didn't work the business. I really haven't even worked in the company. And you spent 45 minutes helping me with some health situations. I want to make my health better. Who would do that? I can't. And she says that. And Dominic says that, when we reach out and stuff. But, you know, I think in life, we're all here to, like Dominic says, there's, over 8 billion people in the world, and the people that are set aside for you are there. And they're, you may not have met them yet, but they're there, and you will. And, and I believe in servicing others and helping people. And, I don't want, I know when somebody's not feeling well, that doesn't just affect the person that's not feeling well, that affects the whole family. I personally know that the body is so intelligent that if it gets out of balance, it has the capability of getting back into balance very, very quickly. And I know that you can avoid, you know, by 96% some of the worst things that you can possibly ever wind up with in your life by doing the right things. So we educate people. We create curiosity, we educate people, and we execute. And we execute by just being authentic. Oh, yeah. Ooh, Jennifer said that just now. By being authentic and just, you know, we have to talk to people. We have to listen. So we know what we can help them with their health, right? I mean, nobody wants to go around being unhealthy because there isn't I don't care how much money you got. What is it? What Daddy said, you can have 1,000 dreams until you got a health issue, and then you have one dream. And that's it. You don't want to have that health issue. And we take that very seriously here at Essante Organics, very seriously. And so seriously that, some of the leading research centers in the world is using our protocol to save lives, right? And not only save the life, but allow them to have a long, healthy life just by doing the right things. There are certain things that we need every single solitary day to keep ourselves running at 100%, even if we don't feel like we're at 100%. You got to have these things happening to get to that point, and that's what we produce. You're not going to come in and see anything else because, like these places that I'm talking about say, look, nothing more, nothing less, and nothing added. The biggest thing was nothing added. They felt that everything was so complete, they couldn't believe it. And wow, it surprised me for because that wasn't it was the intention, but it wasn't, how can I say that? You know, it was the intention, but I didn't know that we accomplished it. It was like, it was very, very satisfying to us. And with that, I want to thank everybody that spoke. And you know what? We'll hear just one more thing. If anybody can add anything, it would be the president of Asante Organics. So, Dr. JJ, I'm going to give you a couple seconds and done. No, I'm just kidding. 1, 2.
Thank you, everybody. What a great day. Uh, for those of you that have known me for a while, I come from not only a chiropractic family, had a chiropractic practice for over 30 years, but I was smitten by the network marketing industry very early on in the early 1990s, to be honest with you. And I've been in a couple of companies that became very, very large. But I'm going to tell you what, I had a problem, even though I was successful in those companies. And the problem was I was a thorn in the company's side. I was a thorn because I knew too much. And before Asante Organics was even a company, I was asking them, why are they using toxic ingredients? Why are they putting these preservatives in? And I could tell when they were lying to me. When you ask somebody a question and they give my vernacular, but a BS line. That's what they were giving me. And I was getting more and more disappointed. The great news is here at Asante Organics, you're never, ever, ever going to have those questions because we use the best stuff on earth. We make these products not only for you, but we make them for ourselves. I have no problem with the people who are most important to me using these products every day. My mom, my mother-in-law, my son, his wife, my wife, the people most important to me, and hopefully one day my grandchild. That is important. If you remove a compensation plan, and you have to ask this question seriously, now that everybody on this call is educated, you know the difference between toxic free and not toxic free. You know the difference between organic and not organic. You have to answer this question. If you remove a compensation plan from a company, are you going to continue to take the products? I'll tell you what, if Michael fires me, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to keep on taking these products. That's the way you have to feel about these products. And when you know that you've got the greatest products on the planet, because you can't do better than organic and toxic free. When you know that, your results as far as a business are going to explode. But you've got to know that. You've got to love that. You've got to just feel it. It's not about being in Asante. It's having Asante be in you. So that's all I wanted to say today. So thanks a lot for letting me speak for a few seconds, Michael. I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. I'm glad people leave their cameras on because the way that Mint's been tearing it up over there. I can't wait for the next picnic I'm invited on because I don't know what she's got, but she's got everything going on over there. I was just like, man, I'm going to keep my hands in my pockets because these things are going to get missing sooner or later. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. I thank you. We are so thankful and grateful and humbled and just to have you guys in our lives. And um, uh, I don't you just each and every one of you, we're all just, look, I got great grandkids. They do use this stuff. So, I can say that. Um, but the same thing. I mean, these products are my life, and and we'll never let that go. And we just hope that we can all work together as hard as we can with every operating second that we have that's extra, that we can introduce somebody to this. And and I just look at this group that's with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and my brother and I are a part of a company, and it was the same one that JJ was in, but we didn't know JJ back then. He was 20 years later than us, and and we got a lot of friends over there, and we see these people making hundreds and hundreds, and I'll say another one, hundreds, and I could go on, of thousands of dollars a month, because we all got, we were in a company in the right place at the right time, meaning early in a small database, not early meaning the company being early, meaning we were in a small database. And when that company took off, you can't stop the monetary growth. Nothing you can do can stop it. And that's where everybody in this is. In we're all in this place right now. And the good thing that we got going for us that was an if and a scary one at that for us. Look, we got 20 years in business. You got some sustainability that's crazy good. And the research and the product development and the teams that help us make these products, the people that, that the USDA certified organic facilities that we use, everybody is this one big, huge family. And I'm telling you, that's it. And you're part of it. And that's why we give you our numbers. That's why you can call me any time of the day. You know that. You know that. If I don't answer, you're going to get a call back. And you can call me late at night. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you a good example. Last night, 11:30 my time, 2 hours difference or an hour, whatever. Talking to Jennifer, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get off. You just really sound beat and tired." Maybe I would have stayed on longer, but she was right. So, where do you find a company like that? I really hope, my prayer is that you understand that that's such a blessing. Go and try and call any other company's CEO or this, the CFO or the CCO or the chief marketing officer or the president. You aren't going to reach them. Don't work like that. This is the first time I ever saw it work like that. But I'll tell you what, we're no different than anybody else. We all came in this world naked. We're going to leave naked. And what we do in between there is going to be hopefully our legacies, right? And we help somebody. And I talked to somebody today that, you know what, thanked me again, because 7 years he came into our office, was not at a good place, and today he's in a great situation, and and that's from a health perspective. So it's a good thing, and I hope you guys see that, and I know you guys see that, and we just build it from here. And now let's go out there and create the awareness. And I was creating this toxic free awareness for so long. It was crazy, fighting against toxic chemicals, things like that. Just like what JJ said, we were aware and we could only do what we can do. But now we're in a place where we can really make a change. And now we have an administration that's like, oh, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And we were talking about getting rid of that 30 years ago. We already knew that. We knew what the consequences would or could be, and now are. So, you know what? And nobody's, as far as, somebody said something to me, you're in a 50-mile race and you are 49 miles ahead of the horses than everybody else in a 50-mile race, because nobody else is doing what we're doing. And guess what, guys? It's yours. It's yours. It's you got the largest USDA certified organic superstore in the world. You own it. We work for you. That's what we do. So take that, and thank you for joining us. God bless you. God bless your families. Bring a lot of people on Tuesday night. Guess what? 5 people. Only 5 guests. I'll even do it with this hand. Why? Because you can see it better than that hand, right? This one's way whiter, So 5 people, and you win $100 in cash, but who's ever over 5. So if somebody brings 7, somebody brings 5, I might do something. But the guy who brings the most people as a guest over 5 or over, $100. Or we'll give you more of that in product. It's huge. Goes right along with the voucher Mint was talking about. So we'll see you again on another broadcast. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. Have a very safe weekend.